Welcome to another live stream of Asexualise, my asexual life. How are you doing? If you haven't already subscribed, this is the place to be for education about asexuality. So do hit that great big subscribe button below. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I post a new video. And if you like this video after it's done, please give it a thumbs up because it raises world awareness of asexuality and gets it higher up in the search engine rankings and gets more eyeballs on asexuality, basically, which is what we want. So in today's video, I want to talk to you about what is the difference between a romantic friend and a romantic relationship. Hi, Michael. That's what I'm going to talk about. What is a romantic friend? Exactly. So what's a romantic friend? So this is really interesting concept, okay? It's kind of something that I came up with, but I believe it's in existence. Well, I know it's in existence, but it's the wording I use, maybe a term that's not really heard of before. But I've called it romantic friend because I have one of these. So I'm going to divulge more what I mean. So basically, there's a guy who's in another country in the USA who is foreign, who is younger. And if he was in this country, he would date me. He told me that outright. So this particular guy, he's not Indian. He's actually Mexican, more Puerto Rican / Mexican. So basically, we've been friends. He is asexual. We've been friends for some time now. And because we're both single, we act romantically towards each other. So a romantic friend is someone who you would act romantically towards whilst not being in a relationship with them. Whereas a romantic relationship is someone you're actually having a relationship with. Now, obviously, if you wouldn't usually have a romantic friend as well as a romantic relationship if you're actually in a relationship and it's a monogamous one. So the reason I have this romantic friend is so basically we're very romantic with each other. So we're both romantics. If we were in the same country, we'd be highly compatible in terms of romantic needs, in terms of the kissing, the cuddling, the holding hands, all that type of thing. And you know, and we do say to each other, oh, you're beautiful, hello, beautiful, and stuff like that. And this is a friendship that's developed over time. At first, I didn't know the guy that well. I thought even for an asexual, he's quite into his women. And I did, you know, that really put me off him. I found him more difficult to talk to. I found him more abrupt, but he's taken up yoga over, I think it's yoga. No, it might not be yoga. He's taken up some, well, anyway, he's taken up and he goes to the gym and he does a lot of, I don't know if it's yoga. I think it's a part of yoga, but he does a lot of things with ropes and stuff like that. I don't want to go into too much detail, but anyway, he goes to the gym a lot and he's been doing all this keep fit stuff. And since he's been doing that, he seems to have like become a really much nicer person in general. And I find it easier to talk to him now. And I find he's a much nicer guy. And so, you know, we say to each other, hello, beautiful. We say you're beautiful to each other. And I think that's really nice while you're single to be able to do that. Like, he's still looking for a partner in his country. I'm still looking for a asexual partner in my country. So we very much know that we can't be together in a relationship. Climbing ropes. It's not climbing ropes. Basically, when the ropes come down from the ceiling, like it's ribbons, and then you wrap your hands around them and then you like move. It's a bit like acrobatics, but it's got a certain type of word to it. So yeah, it's kind of like he's on like using ribbons and stuff that hang from the ceiling for fitness, really fitness, and he can wrap them around his arms and then, you know, go upside down and stuff on them and stay there. He's an incredible guy, actually. But he does like someone in his country. I'm very aware of that. So the good thing is, although we're romantic friends, he does talk to me about who else he's interested in his country, and I try and help him with some advice about what to do about it, you know, for a girl he really likes over there. So I'm under no illusion that he's going to be with someone in his country, as far as I know, and he's never going to come over to the UK, although he has said about visiting before. But, you know, I've told him I want a permanent partner, you know, someone who's in the UK all the time, not just coming over for a visit. Do you know what I mean? So I know he's looking for a permanent partner as well, but I don't think relationship wise in other ways we probably, you know, I think we're better off as friends. Aerial silk dance, something like that. It's not actual dance though, it's more like yoga in the air with aerobics, I think it's called. That's it. I think it's called aerobics. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think it's called aerobics, if that makes sense. And so yeah, it's really you know, like he likes someone else in his country a lot, you know. I know he really seems so keen on her. I would even go to the point of saying he probably like has love feelings and stuff for her, not just romance. So I don't, you know, I want him to be happy. I want him to be, oh, I hope, I mean, he doesn't even know she's definitely, you know, like asexual, and if she, you know, like is into men, women, or what she is. So he doesn't know that. Anyway, sorry for distracting you with the questions. So that's all right, Michael. It's fine. And so you know, I'm happy to have questions. That's why I like doing live streams. It's good to have interaction on my channel. And so live interaction, you know, where you can actually talk to a person, it's good. And so yeah, so I wouldn't, you know, like as a rule, I wouldn't usually have a romantic friendship, because I kind of think they blur things. It can be very difficult what if one person gets into the other person more, if one person decides that they really want to be in a relationship with this person and the other person doesn't. And it's not something I'd usually recommend, but it's something that just like happened. And we don't say we're romantic friends, but we kind of just are, in the sense of the way we behave and talk to each other sometimes. Now, I don't talk to this person all the time, but he does message me quite a bit, and he shares some of his what's going on in his life with me, and I really like that about him. And, you know, I said to him last night, I'm glad we're such good friends. And he said, yeah, me too. And so we have become really much more closer as friends, which I think is good. But I just wanted to clarify, you know, what the difference is. So with this guy, I'm not obviously physically kissing him or doing anything like that. But we're just saying stuff like we send each other sometimes love hearts to each other and stuff like that. Now, some friends who are not romantic friends do that to each other as well in the 21st century, you know. Like years ago it would be just reserved for someone you love, but nowadays like loads of people tend to put it in messages anyway. But it's just I believe that the way I've called it romantic friends, because I have heard of other asexuals as well that take this kind of further, and they have people that they're almost in a relationship with but not quite. And they could call those romantic friends as well. But yeah, they're actually not in a romantic relationship. But these really are people that you'd want to either want to be in a relationship with, or you nearly are in a relationship with, but you're not officially in a relationship with them. Do you see what I mean? So yeah, it can get a bit complicated. But I just like, with me and him, it's just like a case of like we're both attracted to each other aesthetically and personality wise, and we like each other. But nothing will probably ever come of it, because he's staying in his country and I'm staying in mine. So I don't see anything like happening there. I mean, in the very beginning, when I first met him, he did say he was thinking about moving, but that was a very long time ago. And I said, it's better for you to find someone in your country, and he agreed with me. So that pretty much put an end to that. But the only good thing I would say is it's really nice to have a romantic friend who understands you, if you know what I mean. So, you know, you could have a romantic friend that doesn't, you know, in a literal sense, you could have a friend who's romantic like you without there being any romance between you, because they're very romantic too, but that's not why I actually meant it as in this sense. But, you know, we both understand each other, so there's not many people who me and him can relate to, because a lot of asexuals, as you know, are aromantics and they lack romantic attraction. And when you're a heteromantic, you know, you're into the opposite gender, and there's a lot of aromantics, people who aren't romantic at all, they can't relate to us very easily, and we can't relate to them. Like, we understand each other, but we can't, you know, we haven't got that thing in common. And like a lot of my romantic guy friends, they tend to be more into guys. They tend to be attracted more to guys than girls, you know. So they either the people that I know, my friends, are either aromantics, or the majority are into guys. There's a couple that are into women, but you know, we don't really talk about relationships that much. Whereas me and this guy in the USA, we're always kind of talking about relationships with each other about other, you know, having a relationship with other people, but we're discussing it with each other, like, you know, like what's happening in your life, you know, any luck with this person and that type of thing. And when we're feeling down, we kind of like, you know, we're still bringing each other up because we still think each other's like beautiful and really nice. Do you know what I mean? So at the moment, this type of romance friendship is really good for me, and I think it's really good for him, because like when we're feeling a little bit down, because like it's hard when you're trying to find a romantic relationship of the opposite gender and you really desire that kissing and cuddling, but there's no one to do that with. There's not actually many asexuals that totally get that. There are romantics that get it, but there's not actually that many that you speak to on a really like personal message basis. There's like loads of asexuals that can kind of relate to this, but there's not that many asexuals that actually, you know, that I talk to in private message about it. I mean, me and him really understand each other loads, you know, we really get each other. I'm not sure I get it. No, Michael, you probably wouldn't. And actually, I'm currently recording my review of that BBC documentary. Because that BBC documentary about I Don't Want Sex has had a lot of critique, you know, a lot of people criticising. Well, I actually think it's good in a lot of ways. I actually think it's very realistic, if I'm honest. And I'm actually doing a review of it. I've already started recording some where I'm talking about the documentary. I'm also showing parts of it and I'm giving my commentary on it. So that's going to be really interesting for you guys. I'm pre-recording that one. So I'm recording it and editing it as we speak. I'm in the middle of doing that, but obviously I came off to do a live stream. And there's a lot of positives about that documentary, but people who aren't romantic and not into dating wouldn't be that interested in it, because it's not aimed at that market. It's aimed at people who don't want sex, who are asexual but want a relationship without sex and are in the dating scene. And a lot of it I could relate to personally. So I found it very relatable and very useful. And I could understand from the BBC media point of view why they've done that angle. But, you know, I'll leave all that talk to the actual review of it that I'm currently working on, because it's going to be quite a lengthy video, that one, because obviously I'm talking in and out the documentary all the time. It's going to be very useful, though, I think, because, you know, I just see so many people that are criticising it. I actually saw someone who was at the conference, one of her videos, criticising it, and I actually, you know, don't share that opinion. I don't see that. I don't feel that angle is the same. Well, it's not the same as mine, and it's a completely different angle to what I take. But it might be because they would cut out the final conference video quite a lot as well. So that didn't really help them, did it? They were at the conference, but they cut out of the final documentary video, I should have said, quite a bit. So I do understand. I think they were a bit upset about that as well. But yeah, so going back to this romantic friend, you know, I think it's important that if you are single and you're asexual, if you do have someone that understands you, it's great. I mean, obviously, it'd be good if you did like each other, was in the same country, and, you know, you really liked each other and suitable, then ideally, in an ideal world, you might be in a relationship together. But I don't even know if me and him would be suitable to be in an actual relationship together, but we just understand each other on a fundamental, basic level. And we behave romantically towards each other in messages sometimes. So that's basically what I was saying. But obviously, if this was an in-person romantic friend, that would be different, and that would be bordering on romantic relationship. And you know, that's what I say, that if you're monogamous, you couldn't really have a romantic friend and a romantic relationship. You'd have to, obviously, as soon as you went into the romantic relationship, you'd have to then cut the romance part of the romantic friendship and go back to being more just friends, you know, and you wouldn't be saying romantic stuff to just your romantic friend, if you know what I mean. They'd just be a friend of yours. So yeah, I hope that's been useful, helpful, and insightful. I know it can be a little bit confusing what I'm talking about, but I think it's very good if you're asexual and single, if you have someone who understands you. I mean, there's not many people that me and him, you know, understand each other such that deep level, you know, that you know, wanting someone. I mean, I do have other asexual friends that do get it, but they tend to want the same gender as well, so that's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. But me and it's really because me and him, like, he likes an older woman, and he's in his well, he's 24 and he likes an older woman, foreign, and I like younger guys. So it's kind of like, but I mean, I don't think he minds around the same age as him as well. So it's a bit different from me, who can only really be with younger foreign guys. So yeah, it's kind of, we both like each other in that way. So we both get the age thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wants older and I want younger. So, and we're like, just talk like best friends. So it's kind of like, I feel really comfortable around that, because there's not really that many people that understand that on that deep, foundational, romantic. Yes, it would work if we were together, probably in the same country, or we'd have a go at making a relationship work if we were in the same country, type thing, if you know what I mean. So I hope that's been useful, helpful, insightful, and it hasn't just caused a massive confusion. If anyone's got any questions, please post them down in the comments below, because I know that it can be a bit difficult to understand what I'm talking about. It's not something that I'd advocate everyone doing, getting romantic friends. In fact, I didn't used to really be like that years ago. It's because with asexuality, it's a lot harder to get someone who's asexual close to you, if you know what I mean. So you kind of like maybe change or adapt to certain situations to fulfill a romantic need, for example, that you can't get because you're not in a relationship. So I've been single predominantly since 2011, and I love being single, but I do miss the romance. So kind of when you have a person who really finds you attractive and you find them attractive, and you can be romantic, but you know they're completely across the other end of the globe and you're not really ever going to meet them, so long as you're okay about that and it doesn't turn into pain and upset and heartache, then it's good. I mean, obviously it could turn that way. At the moment, I'm just really happy, and I hope that he finds this woman who he likes. I hope he gets with her, really, and I'll be really, really happy for him and pleased for him, because he's like, you know, I know how much he struggles, like I do, to get a romantic relationship, and I know how hard it is, and that he would like someone, and I know he really likes this person as well. So, you know, I hope we both find our romantic partners in the end. So I'm going to leave it there, because I think I've said enough, but hopefully this has been useful to you in some way, insightful. Thank you for the thumbs up already. If anyone else wants to give me a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. And I look forward to seeing you on the next live stream or next video. Look out for my review of that documentary that will be coming out. I don't know how long it's going to take me to edit it, because I haven't recorded it all yet. So it might take me just 1 or 2 days. It might take me longer. So that'll be out as soon as I've finished it. And I look forward to seeing you on the next live stream or next video. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button now. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. And hit the bell icon to get notified of every time I post a new video. Thanks, Michael. Take care. Bye. Oh, I'm coughing it.